That's how you do it right there.
Here come the jesters, 1, 2, 3. It's all part of my fantasy. I love the music and I love to see the crowd dancing in
Our OG theme song.
singing out loud. Yeah. Here come the dancers, one by one. Your mama's calling, but you're having fun. You'll find you're dancing on in number 9 club.
There's actually a lot to say about. I could do a whole episode on Bad Company. I
It's
think.
all part of my rock and roll fantasy.
It's
Remember when
interesting.
we?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say.
please,
Remember,
yeah.
remember when we found on Spotify that there were about 30 versions of that song,
Yeah,
like
there are, yeah.
re-recordings
Yeah,
of it with
there's
like different vamps he would do at the beginning and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It was crazy. There
Yeah.
were so many different versions.
Well, a lot of bands do that. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of like endless repackaging. There's kind of is a motif as we're finding out. And why wouldn't Bad Company want to get in on the action too?
Also, if you've got a tune like that,
Oh,
just keep doing it. You know, it's kind of like just keep putting it out.
it's weird with Bad Company. I was just thinking when we were listening. I suppose I've thought this before that they are, you know, like how a lot of people, you know, music, like rock and roll music, it's like starts in the 60s, you know, late 50s, 60s.
Sure.
It becomes self-aware. It kind of like AI in like by the Beatles, and then there's songs about rock and roll. I mean, there's a bit of that with like Chuck Berry and stuff, but it becomes self-aware. It realizes its own power.
Yeah.
In the mid 60s. And then we talk about everything kind of Led Zeppelin on is like second wave, like true second wave. It's not original. Bad Company are completely original because it sounds like music that's going to come for the next 10 years after it, kind of ending maybe with, well, it's still going on right now with like Nickelback and stuff. Def Leppard would be the like Foreigner, Def Leppard. They'd be kind of like, but it's so like they're like clutching, because it doesn't even sound like Led Zeppelin. It's like they're clutching at this new idea of like power rock.
Yeah, but would you not say like Deep Purple kind of did that already? Maybe.
But I think Deep Purple sound like. It sounds weird, Bad Company. It sounds like a new style of music. It's like pretty sparse.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a karaoke track with Paul Rodgers.
More of a kind of like fog hat kind of thing.
Sure.
But like many years before.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like, it's not that rock and roll, like really, except for his vocal.
Speak for yourself, dude. You know, feel like making love.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, we were
But that song's kind of, it does two genres in one.
Yeah, it does.
That's what's cool about it.
Yeah, it does.
I'll tell you this, like,
Outlaw.
You know,
they brought. I feel like they brought the outlaw into power.
it's kind of like, you know how Bon Jovi did like the whole like wanted
Would not
dead
exist.
or,
Would not
exactly.
exist without without Bad Company.
Like wanted dead or alive. Like Bad Company were already doing that. It's like we're bad. We're outlaws.
Yeah, we're outlaws.
Like the song "Bad Company," I believe, is like they're kind of cowboys out on the.
Yeah, they are. It's on the
they're
range.
gunslingers.
Yeah, it's the first of the fusion. Obviously, there's a lot. Like, I mean, for example, "I've Just Seen a Face" is kind of a country fusion tune.
Yeah,
but
this
is outlaw, like bad boy, like maybe like a Waylon Jennings energy.
Yeah,
meets classic rock power.
Yeah, but more, you're right though, like it's more with the sort of attitude that say like a Guns N' Roses Bon Jovi would bring later.
100%.
Where it's like we're very much like outlaws of
bandits
of the strip and like, you know, anyway, outlaws of Sunset Strip.
Yeah, and that lives on. That
Well, yeah, of
whole
course.
look. That leather pants is a big
Well, I
part
was
of
talking
it.
about this the other day that the Sunset Strip mentality, which as far as I can tell, you're saying Bad Company. There'd be no Guns N' Roses at Sunset
maybe.
Strip
Yeah,
without
I am,
Bad
actually.
Company.
You know what? I am saying that.
That's fine.
I think
you might be
more
right.
than Led Zeppelin.
I think you might be right. Anyway, Luke would probably know.
Yeah, he'd know.
But
He's too busy gloating in the Dodgers' 18th innings.
well, that's why
walk-off.
I'm a bit tired. I was up watching it till
Imagine
midnight.
how those guys feel. They've got to go again today.
I know. And the guy Otani's pitching too. It's
Yeah,
like
he'll
that's
be
not
fine.
good.
I get a sense
That's
that he'll
not
be
good.
absolutely fine.
I love that he doesn't even speak. He's so badass. Doesn't even speak any English. He's just like,
no,
I'm just
I
here to-
think I have a theory about that.
Oh, you think he does? And
Well, I've seen interviews with him where he does a little bit, but I would imagine that in America, he would be concerned that his words would be misunderstood
oh, I see. Yeah,
in an interview.
Maybe.
Like,
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it's quite broken, maybe, and he would be asked to speak in a, speak to stuff that, like, even within the game, because he seems like I'm not a big baseball guy. I'm getting into it because it's like, everyone's into it, but it seems like he's got a lot of class.
Oh God.
This
I mean,
guy.
I'm rooting for the Blue Jays,
Yeah.
but hard not to admire an athlete like that.
No,
I'll tell you
it's crazy.
that. I love they were just like, "What are you going to do right now?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "I'm going to go to sleep as soon as possible
Yeah.
for tomorrow." But no, what I was going to say was
About
that
that company
the
inventing
Sunset Strip
mentality.
LA
Yeah.
has had the Sunset Strip has had, and LA in general
Yeah.
has had a lot of different
Rebrands.
identity change
Yeah,
shifts.
yeah.
Yeah, rebrand is a good word for it. And a lot of them were really poignant, right?
Yeah.
Like you've got the 60s Sunset Strip vibe, which is like the
Yeah.
Birds, the Doors, Buffalo, Springfield.
And then on the other side
But-
of the strip, love and
Sure.
the Doors. So you got the
All-
Eagles, yeah.
the whiskey, the whole thing, right?
Yeah, Troubadour,
And then
yeah.
obviously, I don't really even know what happened in the 70s. It's more like out in Laurel Canyon and all that. But then,
Well, Led Zeppelin too, Chateau Marmont, that kind of energy.
maybe that kind of thing.
Sharks and stuff.
Sure,
and
but I don't
groupies.
think. But the Strip was kind of going through
Rainbow,
an identity crisis.
Lost
more.
Weekend.
Yeah, I guess so. Kind of
Martoni's.
people more just kind of partying and
Yeah.
hanging out.
It
But
did-
it's
yeah,
not really
yeah.
like a lot of shows, I don't think, happening on the street. I mean, there probably were. I guess that's like Elton John at the Troubadour and all that. Anyway,
Yeah, maybe.
my point being, in the 80s,
Yep.
then you get the big shift
Decline of
Wi-
Western civilization. Yeah.
with Guns N' Roses,
Hair
leather, hair
Hair,
metal,
yeah.
leopard print,
Hairspray.
babes walking around and the
Yep.
hairspray and all that. And the crazy thing to me about it is like, did it shift again? Did it maybe go back to Buffalo, Springfield? Something? No, you go there, it's still that
No,
era.
I think that was just such a potent like era
Yeah.
that it went grunge for a minute and then came back.
Yeah, but it's that
It was
exactly.
too powerful. It couldn't be contained. It like, I mean, that's probably why Kurt Cobain killed himself. If you think about it.
I mean, maybe in a way, like he just saw that there was no hope for
On the strip.
Yeah. I mean, Luke and I have gone down to the Rainbow.
Yeah. Lemmy is the 70s.
Lemmy's
I
got a
guess.
statue there.
Yeah.
And Luke says he's like he's like he looks at me and he says, "Johnny, like take it as you will."
Yeah.
But these people around here, most of them don't have a fucking clue who Harry Nilsson is.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they worship a different sort of rock star.
Different god, yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Johnny
all
Depp.
dressed. Yeah, they're all
River
dressed.
Phoenix was kind of a big one too.
Yeah, it's Axl,
Slash.
Nikki Sixx, these kind of guys, and they're
a
all
lot of
dressed in
homeless people too, dressed like that.
Yeah, maybe.
I think.
Yeah. But I just think
Characters.
it's interesting because, and one might say, oh, all of LA is like that or something. But no, because if you go to like Dantana's and Musso's and stuff, they're still in the like 40s, 50s era, right?
Chaplin is still there.
That didn't change at all.
No.
And out in Topanga and Laurel Canyon, as we know, it's all about the 60s still. It's
Yeah,
that kind of.
I think
that
like,
kind of mentality.
Yeah, and then there's like I think that like maybe like Paul Thomas Anderson has had a go at changing canters a little bit into more of a movie bagel kind of place.
Maybe, yeah.
With Haim and those. Everyone's taking a piece, if they can.
But on the Strip, it's never going to change that, I don't think.
It's one of the only places in the world that you can still wear a scarf around your knee.
Yes.
And it's a good look.
Yes. 100%.
And a CBGB's shirt.
Yeah.
So welcome to Impossible Way of Life, your bi-weekly rock and roll podcast. We're getting set up, geared up, fired up, keyed up for what seems like it's going to be a very Beatlesy fall and winter here.
Holiday season.
Yeah.
There's no better way that I'd like to spend my holidays than curled up with a nice blanket, just watching 9 hours of Beatles footage.
100%.
Yeah.
This doesn't have the same level of, primarily because we've seen it all before. It doesn't have, although that being said, we had seen Get Back before, but it doesn't feel like it has the same level of intensity.
There's not as much unreleased stuff, but I'll tell you what, I haven't watched the anthology since about 98.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely.
It's been a while, so I am excited.
Yeah, I'm just going to look something up here. I just was reminded of something.
Okay.
That kind of made me. I noticed our boys Flight posted about it, which I don't know if
they're pretty Beatlesy.
I'm going to be able to find it. Someone posted a thing. Well, I just thought this could be a good thing for us to get into. Someone posted, I don't know what it was. Basically, but they'd commented on it, so it populated on my Instagram, like a listicle about what happens in Tolkien's Middle Earth after Lord of the Rings. Silmarillion onwards and stuff, and how incredible the story is about fantasy and folk, and how if you let it die out, because they're in like the third world or something, and we're in the seventh, I guess. Anyway, it'd be interesting to interpolate that with the Beatles' story in the 70s and see how those two things correlate, because as we know, the Beatles are the Lord of the Rings story.
Yeah, I might need to brush up on the kind of
this listicle would really help if I could find it, but I'm not going to look for it right now. It would, I could, but...
Well, the way that I... Honestly, this couldn't be more fitting, because every Christmas, usually, if I have the chance, my dad and I watch Lord of the Rings, the whole trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I think I've ever seen it.
You should watch it this year, and I think that's probably why they decided to release this Beatles stuff around Christmas too.
Well, it's Beatles. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff is kind of these folk wanderings and like magic,
fantasy,
fantasy, mystical stuff. If you believe it, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
I also think
another.
Paul McCartney documentary.
Yeah, there's another Paul McCartney, Man on the Run.
They just. These things, they must have like cutting rooms that can put these things together in 15 minutes.
They must just have like a whole team. It's like, okay, has there been one about like just post Beatles Paul? Oh yeah, like there's been like 10. No.
No, it's like
the first year. No. Like just the first
year.
Which
isn't Band on the Run.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny. It's like our podcast.
Yeah.
It's the same method. We have we done... Like, we must have done it at some point. It's got to be somewhere. Let's do it again. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Exactly.
This is what the people want. Actually, I was speaking to a patron and friend of the pod at one of the shows I played over the weekend, and he mentioned that he was really into like the Beatles character theory stuff, and I was like, right, and this is from like 4 years ago, and,
right.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. Well, just like the Beatles Lord of the Rings character theory stuff.
That.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that there were like different... We also had another Beatles character theory thing that was like that every musician is like one Beatles era you have to be only one, like how like whatever I'm Mull of Kintyre Paul right now and you're like Dakota John or whatever, you know.
Sure,
it's
yeah,
like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of Muscle Shoals.
You might have changed recently.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually,
I was
it's been a while
probably
since
rock
we've
and
addressed-
roll John at one point. In the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you might be like the mid 70s kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
But I'm still kind of.
Well,
I don't know if I'll ever get out of the.
No, it's the sweaters and the beard.
Yeah, I know.
I think maybe that's another point. Is like you probably need to get out of these. You
You
choose
do.
another one for a bit.
You do, yeah. But you got to tread lightly because I only have a couple of other options in my life. One being George in the mid to late 70s, which is not a good.
No. Well, I was going to say
he's kind of out at his
Jerry
compound.
Rafferty George.
Is he a George Harrison
Feels
character?
like you'd think it's not, but it just instinctively that's what it just felt like. You'd feel like it would be Paul on the Mull, but then about it felt
there's a darkness.
There's
There's a darkness to George
that isn't discussed.
That isn't discussed. That I would say is. It might be darker than any of the Beatles, even though John has obviously a well-documented darkness.
Yes.
John addressed his darkness
with
Playboy,
violence.
He did. In the Playboy interview I read.
Yeah. Scream therapy, all that stuff.
It was actually quite touching, even though like he was not a good guy at all. But he fully admits, he says, I was really cruel to women. I used violence. And I basically spent the past 4 years just trying to be a better person. And I've been like, that's his house husband period. He was taking care of the baby.
Well, husband or hypnotized period.
Right. However you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, okay, like he comes pretty clean in that.
Yeah.
He seems in a lighter place.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with George, although I think he probably by the 80s Wilburys, he's all good. But yeah, there's a darkness
I don't know.
there.
He seems pretty pissy in some of the anthology stuff even.
Yeah, he does. And throughout the 70s, there's a serious darkness there, a bitterness.
Let's remember that video of him and Bob Geldof where George is yielding his power to try and get Bob Geldof to say Neil Young is shit, and Bob Geldof is hanging on. And
standing
we're talking
his
about
ground, but just barely.
Yeah, because he's scared to lose the gig.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Paul's like, sorry, and George is like, I hate his voice. Right, and his guitar playing. Just really, and starts digging in.
Hate his voice, he says. I hate his voice.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Paul McCartney. He's the only one who's ever championed Neil.
Right.
Loves Neil. One of his favorite records is Harvest. Played the Bridge School. They've shared the stage many times. John has been quite, critical of Neil as well. Just give Paul that one. He's got good taste, I think.
You've got to be comfortable in ushering in, if not understanding, at least ushering in new music. Because for them, Neil would have represented like a schism to some extent. Yeah. He's not that Beatlesy.
No, he's not.
So like, and the Hamburg school of getting good and getting like, Neil's the antithesis to that energy. He's like, nah, it's all good. Put the demos out.
Yeah, and also it seems like Paul was much more interested in music than the rest of them.
In music developing, where it's going, the journey through music.
Yeah, okay, this is coming out, like electronic music and things, like I'll experiment more in the studio. Mm-hmm. It's more, I think he's collaborating with Michael Jackson and people. Yeah. He's like, and you read in the Playboy interview, I mean, I keep going on about this, but if anybody hasn't read that Playboy interview, it's worth a read.
Maybe we could do a whole episode on it.
We can.
Maybe that's Sunday.
Yeah, we should. You should read it because it's amazing. But he talks about how he doesn't listen to any music, John. Nothing. He's like, I have no interest in it at all.
Great attitude.
Yeah. He's like, You know, he's like, sometimes I'll throw on like some like Indian music or something, or like Elvis or something, but like he couldn't give a shit about it, and especially about what any of the Beatles are making either. I mean, he doesn't seem bitter or anything. He's just kind of like, I don't care, whatever. Like,
I had something I was going to say about George there that's gone now with regards to Neil Young. I know what it was. It's like we've said in the past, and we were talking to Luke just the other day about this, that like, you know, it's pretty evident that if you don't like the Beatles, you were kind of endangered as a child or something. Like there's there's a through line there, but it's a bit trickier with people who say they don't like Neil Young or don't like Dylan, because it's generally about the voice, which seems like a really strange way to interpret music. It just seems like a lazy way to interpret like how music even works. And it's a bit of a shame to hear someone like George Harrison not be able to get past like a vocal styling.
Yeah, particularly because of his love of Dylan.
Exactly.
And his friendship with Bob Dylan. Like,
maybe he just felt like a jealousy of like, because there's an heir, not an heir apparent, but like there's a relationship between Dylan and Neil, you know?
Yeah.
Neil being kind of a Dylan-y guy.
Yeah.
Who kind of found his own way out of just being a Dylan-y guy.
And maybe George sees like, oh, he's just a Dylan copycat or something.
Yeah,
but
he's just like, but then Dylan likes him.
Yeah. I mean, I think later Dylan liked him though. But probably around that time he already liked him. But Dylan, I don't think in like the early 70s was a Neil guy. I think he thought he was ripping him off.
But Neil is kind of adjacent sonically to like that like American songbook band basement tapesy stuff, if anyone's anywhere near it, in his approach and methodology around the recorded content of his work.
Yeah, I know, but I think that and don't get me wrong, I'm saying that Bob Dylan and Neil Young obviously became friends and
later.
But I think you're absolutely right about that, but people like that were a big threat to Bob back in the day. Mm-hmm. Paul Simon, Gordon Lightfoot, Neil Young, he's like, it's like keep your friends close, enemies closer kind of thing. I think he really was like, this guy's doing me, and like he's in my crosshairs now. There's the famous story that he heard Heart of Gold on the radio and was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I just did this in Nashville. Who is this guy? You know?
Well, it's been a long time since I've read Shaky, but... Yeah. And I've not read any of... I find Neil's stuff kind of tricky to read sometimes.
What's like, his book called? Waging Heavy Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read it, actually.
Was he doing Dylan?
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, Dylan. Nobody with an acoustic guitar writing songs wasn't influenced by Dylan.
Of course,
I don't think at that time. But no, I don't think he's doing a Dylan thing, really. But like Heart of Gold, like it's interesting, right? Because here's where Dylan may have a point.
Right.
Neil Young. There's no pedal steel guitar or countryness at all, really, on any of his records until Harvest. I guess after the Gold Rush, a little bit of countryish stuff, a bit.
Yeah, and that has a big Pink energy to some extent, too.
Yeah, 1970, right?
Mm-hmm.
Harvest, 71. Nashville Skyline, 69.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. So you could see if it was Dylan,
Sweetheart
you're like, hey,
of the rodeo.
Yeah, but like those guys were, Birds, they had been country before Dylan-ish, you know, like on Notorious
Clark,
and
Graham,
stuff. There's
all
but
the clocks.
If you're a singer-songwriter who's really famous, like Dylan goes to Nashville and does that, then all of a sudden everybody and their dogs got pedal steel and they're doing country tunes. I can see being like, okay, nice one, guys. You know, like you kind of took my idea here a bit.
Yeah, I guess so, but like not like that. Yeah, maybe, I suppose.
I'm not saying that he's right, but I think it's
really. I think it's really weak when
so do I.
musicians think that kind of stuff about their own myth.
but he's a fierce competitor, cutthroat guy, Dylan. Like, I think he really thought that way. Have you seen that when he gets... It might even be his Hall of Fame induction speech or something, when he goes on stage and reads what critics have said about him over the years. No. And he's like, they say I can't sing. Well, no, why didn't you say that about Leonard Cohen? He's like, they say...
He's hurt still about
his songs are too long. He's like, never heard anybody say that about Paul Simon. You know, he's got a raspy voice. Why didn't you write that about Tom Waits? You know, and he goes on, and I'm like, dude, it's like 1988, and you're Bob Dylan. Like, it's okay. Like,
well, he's at a low losing end in 88.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. And I'm reading. I just read a like around that era before he had his kind of comeback. Yeah, it's pretty dark. He like turns 50. Yeah, and he's like he's playing like 3,500 seat theaters. You know, and I think he's kind of. I mean, it's Bob Dylan though, right? And I think he's pretty bummed out. Like it might be all over. The
God thing didn't work out too well.
Yeah, it's kind of around the 80s.
He's hiding a kid from people. He got married secretly and stuff.
Yeah, it's not a good period for him.
What from like? I mean, that's only a decade after Blood on the Tracks, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Infidels after Infidels.
Yeah, well, at least Neil was blowing it too at the same time.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, to be fair, most were except Bruce.
But then
Bruce's 90s were really bad.
I saw a thing just before we started doing this podcast that really ground my gears, and it will grind yours too, and it will grind everyone's gears who's listening, I'm sure, because this kind of stuff is like the antithesis of music to me. And it's like, you know, that guy on Instagram who like who does those like one take, like I'll make a punk song in like one take, and he runs around the studio real. Like a lunatic. And he obviously, this guy is like, we've talked about it before, like he's poisoned by the algorithm and by likes. Like it's poisoning him. Like he's forgotten what music is, and it's about like love and about, you know.
Is this our guy or a different guy?
No, it's not our guy. Okay, different guy. He's forgotten why he started doing it in the first place. Maybe it's, you know, whether it's just about playing music, presumably with your friends. I mean, if you're just on a loop pedal by yourself, I'd suggest you just go out and make some friends. It's the same kind of thing. Yeah. Like it's about community. It's as much as it can be about sort of ego, I suppose, anyway. But his newest video, which is just to me like a rock bottom move, is like a comedy video about how to write a Bruce Springsteen song. And it's like, mention you're working part-time in a diner, and he's doing it.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, first of all, you wouldn't be part-time in a diner. You'd be working too much. You'd be fucking too busy. You know, if you want, buddy, okay? Nepo energy.
I know.
But it's just like, and then you mention a muscle car and Jersey, and then he ends by being like, and then you just say things that no one can understand, like, and I'm like, dude, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself.
Ashamed of yourself.
This man,
it's pathetic.
Like, would be. Well, first of all, he wouldn't acknowledge your existence. You don't exist. You actually don't exist within the same world as him. And getting back to the kind of Silmarillion, you know, myths of Tolkien, like this stuff, like if you stop believing, you just disappear, like the hobbits do. They disappear. People can't see them anymore by the end. Because they've stopped understanding their own myths and fairy tales, and men can't see them anymore because they don't exist. It's like you have to believe in them. This guy needs to believe in music. He needs to sit. Someone should make him sit and listen to Bruce Springsteen and just see what happens to his mind.
I'm so glad
and hopefully it will help him out.
I agree. Like, I'm just so glad. You're right. It's disgraceful, and I'm so glad that hasn't happened to us because it's like we come on here and we talk about
how could it?
It wouldn't. I just mean like once you start to like, it's almost like he's gone too deep into like analyzing the music or something that he stopped listening to it or thinking about it. And now he's like,
I think you're just addicted to the smashing the like
Dopamine.
button feeling, and you know, maybe you just need to listen to, I don't know, Nebraska a couple of times.
I know.
And
also the bad thing is like, you know, he's like, these people are like marketing people.
Of course.
They're not musicians, you know? And it's like, he's like, okay, the movie's out. Nothing
of
is, he's like,
course.
okay, I gotta like
I
do
need
like
to have a take.
Springsteen like clickbait video.
You know what's funny? He probably
Yeah.
did think that and then tried to do it earnestly and found it too hard because there's like alchemy in being Bruce Springsteen, and was like,
Yeah.
I guess my only angle in here is to just make fun of it.
Yeah.
And he
Make
should be
fun of it.
fucking shot.
Yeah, he should. It's
Really.
terrible.
He should be walked hog-tied naked and driven down the Jersey boardwalk.
Tossed off the pier at Atlantic City.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With 60,000 people cheering.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Do that
Yeah.
at a Bruce concert. See how that goes down.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
I've been playing music for a long time, and I certainly don't know how to write a Bruce Springsteen song. I don't think it's as simple as talking about a fucking muscle car in a diner, I'll tell you that.
You know what I'd like to think my reaction to that would be? I'd probably just listen to him instead.
Yeah.
You know, I'd get more satisfaction from doing that.
But I guess like Bruce Springsteen haters are going to love that. Oh, look at this. So easy.
Who even hates Bruce Springsteen?
I think probably some people. I don't know. They're
like
out there.
wallpaper
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
So
I guess we should probably I don't want to pay to go see that movie, really, but I guess
What
we
movie?
should probably.
I've not
Bruce
even thought
Springsteen.
about it. I've not even
Well, wait
thought
till
about
it's free on Prime.
that. Yeah,
and then we'll talk
that
about
feels
it.
like it might be a straight to DVD. Kind
It's
of
bad. I think
situation.
it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like I think it's not even a complete unknown. Like
level.
novelty fun or something.
Yeah.
It's like this
Yeah,
one's
it
bad.
is. I wanted to talk to you about there's this band, I don't know if you've heard of them, the Beatles.
Yeah. Well, before you do, can I just do a quick plug for No Smoke Coffee?
I don't. Why does it need to be quick? It's my favorite
doesn't-
part of the episode.
I just want to talk about it because I'll explain to you what happened. I had a big session coming up that I'm just wrapping up here.
Yeah.
And about the day before the session, I opened my drawer, James, and you know what I saw?
What?
I was low on No Smoke.
Idiot. First,
I hadn't pre-ordered
Fool.
my monthly bag.
Yeah.
And I had musicians coming here. And
What kind
and
of
I look, you know
studio
what
are you running?
You know what I had down there?
You shouldn't
Like,
be admitting this on air.
I know it's embarrassing because, and then the day before I'm setting up, I'm getting tones, getting sounds. You know what I had down there? Some fucking Seattle's Best in there. I drank this stuff. I was dancing at the zombie zoo all day.
Should we edit this out of the pod?
I think we should. Good news is, I got it ordered in by about a day later. It showed up at my house because that's the way these guys do things.
That's
Ted
why
and
they
the boys
roll.
over
Yeah,
there.
I got back from tour. I noticed that I had only one full bag left, and was like, "I'm going to need a second bag." That's kind of how I run over here.
Right
here within a day.
I blew it. I was busy.
Yeah.
I blew it. Basically, it arrived the next day and has
Couriered in. Ted knew.
Yeah,
Couriered in. Harbor
It was
Air.
couriered in. It was Canada
Harbor Air.
Post Strike. Don't worry about it. UPS.
Don't worry about it. We've got our own people.
Drop.
We've got our
we
own
do. Yeah.
people.
He was like that.
Mercenaries. His mercenary postal force working for him.
No BC ferries. Not. It's like they
Doesn't
take their
matter.
own boat.
They've got their own boat.
And basically, I've been having 3 to 6 a day.
Yep.
And just crushing these sessions, and it's all
Crushing some
thanks to
pills
Ted.
into it.
Yeah, I mean, if you need that extra boost.
Yeah.
But, it's pretty good on its own. So I just had one this morning, feeling great.
I've got one right now I'm on because this is an early pod.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And, if you want to get some yourself, maybe you have a music session coming up. Maybe you're a new dad like me. Maybe you're just tired. Maybe you just love good coffee. Why don't you go over to nosmokecoffee.com.
It's a great website.
It's also
I would
good
suggest
website, yeah.
actually that instead of typing that URL into your browser, into Netscape or whatever you guys are using.
Yeah.
Alta Vista or something like that would be a better option if you just type in no smoke coffee, because there's some hyphens in no smoke. I've noticed in no smoke coffee.
Yeah.
So if you just
Google
type Google it, or whatever
Google it,
you're
yeah.
using these days. Ask Jeeves. I don't know, but if you just Google it, once you get to the homepage, very uncomplicated.
Yeah. It's
And
really
you know
easy.
what? It even says right here about no smoke coffee, uncomplicated. Because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Johnny, but my issue with coffee has been
Yeah.
it's so complicated. Like
It
there's,
can be.
you get these pour overs, all these different
I don't know what it is.
blends,
Yeah, I
and,
know. Yeah.
and it's like, a cortado, Nelly Furtado. You've got like do I want a double espresso, a single
Mm-hmm.
espresso, oatmeal, all this kind of stuff. None of this stuff matters here.
No,
And there's all these
no.
different brands you have to choose. Is it going to be Folgers, Seattle's Best, Tim Hortons, Starbucks? Are you using a Keurig machine? Are
Yeah.
you doing George Clooney's style of coffee?
It is really complicated.
Yeah.
But not the way I do it, which is I get heavy hitter.
Yeah.
I make myself a double shot of that. Mm-hmm. I add some cream and I add a little bit of boiling water.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. And that'll keep you going for about 35 minutes if you're in the
At
studio.
least.
And if
Yeah.
you're not in the studio, about an hour. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to say it right now. The Blue Jays would have walked off the Dodgers if they'd had access to this kind of caffeine technology. But they don't. But you can, and it's 20% off your orders and free shipping on orders over $60 Canadian, which I cashed in an American check the other day, so I reckon that's about $35 US based on the current tariff wars really going to town with our currency. So, get it and drink it and just feel better about yourself at nosmokecoffee.com.
IWAL20 is the promo code.
Yeah.
And order some today and help us continue to have energy and help out a nice local roastery.
And help us
Help
you.
yourself. And help yourself.
Help yourself. Johnny, I know a couple of things. You've got a show tonight, which is going to have happened by the time this comes out, so it's kind of pointless bringing it up. But I want to talk about, you're going electric tonight. You're going to go storm the bluegrass community, and there's a cut your cords moment happening here.
Yeah, apparently, it's Sarah Jane is playing a show for the Victoria Bluegrass Association, and the Dylan Gone Electric moment has already kind of begun because they emailed her and said, "Are you okay with just one condenser microphone on stage, like for you and your acoustic accompaniment?" And she said, "My accompanist is bringing a Fender guitar amp to the show."
See, a lot of people don't know this, but bluegrass music, obviously a genre most associated with the Appalachian region of the United States in the 1940s, actually has a strong community in the 2020s in Victoria, BC.
It actually does.
I'm sure it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Apparently it does. And anyway, so I'm going to bring a Stratocaster and an amp. So we'll see how that goes.
So you're not going to take your dulcimer?
No, I wouldn't know how to do that. But
well, you can rely on Sarah to take care of that stuff because she's kind of Scottish folk. A lot of that kind of Appalachian stuff comes from the British Isles, originally.
Yeah, she's well steeped in it. Mm-hmm. And she'll probably...
that isn't me talking about how blues come. That's not a Van Morrison take there.
No.
That's not blues coming from London.
From England?
Or something. Yeah, whatever. No.
That was a great one.
That's an interesting take that he has there. I'm not sure I fully agree with that.
Yeah. What were you going to say about the Beatles, though?
I was going to say that, I don't know if you've seen it, but the Beatles Anthology, they're sort of drip feeding us in the same way that like maybe any artist would, which is a bit sad to see the Beatles do it, but it's working on me. They're drip feeding the new anthology stuff. So I'm going to go on here right now. The new Anthology 4, which obviously never existed.
Okay.
In terms of the CDs.
Yeah. Oh, the music.
Yeah, the
just
musical
yeah.
component. The book is
Yeah.
coming out late October. The music comes out late November with the TV show. Just gearing up for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's just the same stuff, but repackaged.
The book's the same book that I have, but with
Yeah.
more pages or something.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
even know if there's new It's just a 25-year anniversary or something.
Okay.
We'll see
right.
how lazy
Maybe
they
it's
are
out of
about it.
print or something. I don't
Possibly, yeah. So they
know.
just...
It's an amazing book
they
that
just
they put out in the 90s. It's like so fun to flip through.
They just released, so far, obviously we know that they released the kind of Tiesto auto-tune version of Free as a Bird
Yeah.
with
we
the
know that.
EDM, more of an EDM vocal treatment for John.
Dry vocal. Kind
Yeah,
of vibe.
but really laser, kind of legit.
Bit loud too, kind of in the mix.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and some triggers I think they added there too. But
Yeah.
today, most recent one is take 3 of I've Just Seen a Face.
Okay.
Which-
right.
Yeah.
Did we listen to both of the other ones
We
yet?
listened to Helter Skelter.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Can,
So
can
this
we
is-
do the other? Let's do the other two. What's the
well,
other
Free
one?
as a Bird's the other one, so we know
Oh,
that
fuck,
one.
we heard
So we
that.
got While
Okay,
My Guitar
nice.
Gently Weeps.
Oh, yeah,
I've
we didn't
just
do
seen
that
a
one.
face. We're going to do I've Just
Yeah.
Seen a Face first.
Okay, let's
because
do it.
for some reason you've brought it up like 6 times recently. It's like you're
Thinking about that song.
I know. I don't know why specifically you kind of said it a couple. You've said it a couple of times. I bought the American Rubber Soul with it on it,
Which opens with it, which is
a
demented.
Demented.
Demented choice of album opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I got
Anyway.
a copy of. I didn't say this on the pod the other day. I did talk
Yeah.
about the Rubber Soul Beatles for Sale. I also, not as big of a, fine, but $5 mono Help soundtrack.
I thought you already got that.
No, Jeff has it.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I got that. I mean, obviously, I don't, it's like the Hard Day's
no, you
Night.
got
I
the
have
Hard Day's Night one. You got the
yeah.
Hard Day's Night one.
Now
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
the Help one too.
Nice.
Yeah.
With all the orchestral
Yeah,
parts. And
exactly,
yeah,
yeah,
it's fun.
yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's I've Just Seen a Face take 3. So early take. That's what I
Early
I think
take, that's cool.
That's worth considering. Whereas like While
Helter
My
Skelter
Guitar
was take 17 or something. And he still didn't have the lyrics done.
he didn't have the lyrics, but
That's all right. It's
this
the White Album.
This was a realized song kind of I think it came out of the same session as Yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three.
Lights on.
Lonnie's gonna regret not singing this one. Okay, start.
Okay, 1,
Lonnie Donegan.
3.
Oh, sorry, I bumped.
1, 2, 3.
Little acoustic jam.
Place I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just the girl for me, and I want all the world to see we've met. Had it been another day, I might have looked the other way, and I'd have never been a word. But as it is, I'll dream of her tonight. Falling, yes, I'm falling, and she keeps calling me back again. I have never known the like of this. I've been alone and I have missed things and kept out of sight. But other girls were never quite like this. Falling, yes, I'm falling, and she keeps calling me back again.
See, I'll take as much of this kind of content as you can get. Real demo energy.
Yeah, it's great. Nice solo from George live.
Yeah, no harmonies yet.
Calling me back again. I've just seen her face, I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just a girl for
Quick.
me, and I want
George
the
is
world
ripping
to
on this.
be
Yeah.
spent. I'm falling, yes, I'm falling, and she keeps calling
Ringo, too.
me back
It's a good vocal.
Yeah.
turns out.
Falling, yes, I'm falling, and she keeps calling me back again. Falling, yes, I'm falling, again.
A little louder tune there, somebody.
You broke a string.
Broke
John
a string.
He says at the end there.
That's like a cool wooden jam from the lads. Like,
Yeah.
just 3 acoustics,
Yeah.
assumably, and Ringo with some brushes.
Yeah.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, it doesn't sound doctored.
I imagine maybe there's some overdubbed bass.
No,
or
there's no
something
bass
when
on that song,
No,
is
no.
there?
Once we get to the, maybe not.
I don't think there is.
That's how it is?
That's why
There's
it's
a harmony
weird.
for sure.
There's a harmony, and the guitar, George, I presume it's George's guitars are much more kind of pronounced.
Yeah, he's doing that nice intro.
He's
I
learning
assume.
it, and then they really nail it. Obviously, I'll put it on.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if there was bass or not. I just thought Paul maybe might have dubbed some bass, but maybe not. Sounds identical to that other take.
I've just seen her face, I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just the girl for me.
Yeah, it's
and I
just the
want
same.
all
Cool.
The world to see we've met. Had it been another day, I might have looked the other way. And
Also
I'd
a great
never
take.
been aware. But as it is, I'll dream of her tonight.
Singing's a little tighter.
And the guitars are too.
Yeah.
Falling, yes, I'm falling.
Shaker.
And she keeps calling me back again. I have never
Yeah,
known
man.
They threw
See,
in
I
a
like
little.
that. Yeah, they
that's
kind
nice
of-
in the chorus. That my little maraca.
Yeah,
Just a little.
It's nice to see. It's nice to hear this is kind of as Beatles fans getting a kind of beneath the hood look at how
I
they
love it.
develop this stuff. It's pretty cool, man.
I'm trying to think of a good would you. Okay, I'll just say this. There's few things in this world that I would rather than to just be able to see, to like watch those sessions go down. Like everyone.
Yeah.
Like just like have like a Get Back style. I don't have to be there.
No.
Just to see like every single song they recorded, like a full day, just like cameras.
I do
walking
find
around.
it slightly frustrating that when and I understand obviously why, because it's
Yeah.
not necessarily for just us, but I do find it slightly frustrating that, well, it's because such a stupid thing to say that I'm about to say, that someone is deciding which bits are pertinent for me to listen to or see.
I know.
I find that like frustrating. Like
know.
if there should be like an unedited, just like raw document that real weird people like us can just watch.
Hopefully, James, in 100 years, will be long gone.
Yeah.
But it'll be like, if you find a Da Vinci painting that's been unearthed, they
Right.
just obviously are going to put it in a gallery.
Yeah.
Because you got to see everything the man did.
all Pokemon style.
Yeah, so I'm sure once everyone involved here is gone, they'll be like, okay, it's just all going to be in the Smithsonian or whatever the hell.
When they like declassify like
Yeah.
CIA, like MK Ultra. It's like
Yeah.
we will, in 50 years, we will just know about the moon landing. Like it's fine.
That's funny because I keep about every 5 years I hear that they're like, oh, the
They're
Kennedy
about to
stuff's
do it.
coming out.
Uh-huh.
But yet I haven't heard anything new about it. Like, did they figure out anything else about it?
I don't know, but I just bought a book like on Stanley Gottlieb and like MK Ultra, like as if I
Yeah.
havenin read enough about this.
You know,
like
all you
like,
talk about.
as if I haven't read enough about this. But it's because the guy, David Simon, the guy who
The
wrote,
Wire?
yeah, he's making a show about it.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good.
I think it was what I was reading. Make sure I'm not getting this wrong here. I'm like getting. I'm coming. Maybe it isn't him. Could it? Could it be? No, it's David Chase. It's the other guy.
Oh, Sopranos.
Yeah, Sopranos guy.
Even
yeah.
better.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
better. Yeah.
David Chase is writing here a limited series project. It's called Project MK Ultra about covert CIA program, and it's in the works at HBO right now.
Nice. Well,
I bet he just like it must be funny. Like I bet like he's just been on like a crazy retainer at HBO for like 25 years.
Yeah. Just like keep trying to come up with something.
Or not even. Just like, don't do anything. $5 million a year coming to you. When you do, let us know.
Yeah. We're
You
here.
know?
Yeah.
We're here. We're here for it. So, yeah, so I bought the book and there's nothing new in it, I'll tell you that.
Did they go to the moon?
Well, we don't know, do we?
No.
I mean, I think I've watched a couple of documentaries about it that seem to, suggest they did. But I've not watched any that say they don't. You know what I mean? So
I see some comments sometime on Instagram that are pretty convincing.
that they didn't go.
Yeah, people really thought a lot about it more than me, and they're
I
like,
think some people have thought about. I watched that. I think that documentary that came out a few years ago that was about the moon landing with all the footage. It's kind of like a Get Back, but for the moon landing.
that was good.
Was one of the best things I've ever seen.
It was amazing. It was like in theaters and stuff. The one, the Apollo 11.
Yeah, and it just seemed like
That seemed pretty legit.
First of
Yeah.
all, like
I think they probably went.
I mean,
guess.
them do like. There's something crazy about just like the age of exploration, anyway, where it's like we're just gonna go and then come back,
Yeah.
and like, Kennedy saying we're going to the moon. And then like it's so crazy, and they're like, we're just gonna do it, and like everyone gets involved, and like I guess we're just going to the moon then, like, but also just like when they when they explain it in like terms of like the actual. I mean, I'm not suggesting I understand the physics or the the science behind it, but it seems like pretty. Like simple. Once they're up there, they're kind of like, okay, we're just going to shoot you up there, and then like you spin around in orbit, and then we have to sort of pop you off on an angle.
Yeah.
Like, and then all this kind of stuff to me is
That seems simple to you, you're saying.
well, like just like the idea of like the actual mechanics of like orbits and stuff. You're just like, well, you're just going round. So once you get to the right angle, we'll just sort of like pop you off, and you'll kind of go towards the moon, and then you'll go around there and drop some people off, and then
I see. Because you're on the right trajectory.
yeah, you're not
There's
driving.
no wind.
No,
There's
you're
no
not
wind.
driving or anything.
It's not like it's not like a sailboat. Or
no,
something
and then
where
you sort of up
yeah.
there, and then
Yeah.
the guys get off, and then the other guy, Michael Collins or whatever his name is, he's the loneliest man, right? The loneliest man. That's this gets me at some very visceral level that he was
that
like
he's can't go.
Well, also that he had to
He's
go
up in
around
the-
the Pink Floyd side of the moon.
Right. And pick them up on the
He
way
did
back.
a Floyd. He's the only one who's
Yeah,
done
yeah.
a Floyd, so he went around the back there, and he was by himself. He couldn't even communicate with anyone. He couldn't communicate with Houston if he had a
Yeah.
problem.
That's crazy.
And then he comes back round, and that part of the documentary, I was weeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Earthrise photo. I talk about this every week on this podcast.
Earthrise, that gets me every time.
Dude, it's two guys. They're the only two people ever in the history of everything that aren't in the photo. Everything that's happened is in the photo.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're just not in the... I can't... It's really freaks... It really makes me emotional.
Me too. I remember there was a TV show called Cosmos that Neil deGrasse Tyson hosts. It got kind of bad, but the first season ended with that photo, and Carl Sagan talk like voiceover.
He's involved.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It's also cool because it was taken with a Hasselblad medium format camera with like a it's kind of just, I'm sure there's like some NASA involvement in like the whatever, but it's kind of just a camera that took that photo too, which is weird.
Yeah.
And like the guy who was like there was like, I'm into photography, I'm going to take the photo. Like, and they got it, they got it developed. Do you know how it was developed?
How?
Well, he gets back to like Earth or whatever, and NASA didn't have the ability to develop for some reason. I guess like they have everything, but it's like, oh, we don't have like we can't develop medium format images.
They
So
went
he
to
just
like a 24-hour
He
place?
He did. He just went into Houston and got a guy to develop it, and was like, "Oh,
Nice.
there's the photo of everything."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool.
I saw a comment about it the other day on Instagram that a guy was like,
Not real.
he's like, Buzz Aldrin has said multiple times, he's admitted that they didn't go.
I thought
and
Buzz
I
was the guy who punches people out. If they
yeah,
even
that's what I was going to
suggest
say.
it.
So right away, of course, I'm so gullible. I was like, well, I need to research this
Yeah.
and see if he said that.
Yeah.
And of course, the only thing I found was that someone accosted him and said he didn't go, and he punched him in the face.
And when he was about 8.
he was 80, he just knocked the guy out.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's
So,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
I think I had a tiny bit more Beatles stuff.
What? So
lined up
what's
here.
so? Just so everybody here knows, whether you like it or not, I think you like it. What we're gonna do 9 episodes.
Yeah, sure, of course.
About all 9 Beatles Anthology.
I never finished the character theory thing. And this
Okay,
corroborates what you're saying. Of course,
Yeah.
we're doing 9 episodes on the anthology. The gentleman I was talking to, friend of the pod, patron, said, I was like, I said to him, oh, you like all that Beatles stuff, And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's amazing. It's like my wheelhouse and whatever, And I was like, that's really cool. And I was like, yeah, I've been away touring and Johnny's recording right now. We've got to get our teeth into something, new. And he was like, I'll just do that stuff again. I had to listen to you talk about that stuff again. And I'm like, I guess, we could just talk to Beatles, which is what we're doing. I'm saying people will love it.
People love the Beatles. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm glad that's nice that you met that guy, because I had somebody, I won't mention who it is, text me the other day about our podcast, because we've both been really busy lately, and they were like, hey, listen to the latest episode of the pod. And I was like, oh, cool. And they were like, yeah, you guys were just kind of rambling on, didn't really go anywhere.
Isn't that kind of what it is?
And I was like, that's what every episode
You've got
is.
bad friends, dude, if people are texting you things like that.
I know. I was like, that's what we do every episode.
What is
and
he
also
trying to,
sorry.
he's like, what, like Ballad of a Thin Man? Who is this guy?
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
You don't get it. But I'm going to say right now, you don't get it. And you know what? If you've got that kind
I don't
of
think they're
attitude-
listeners. I don't think they're listeners, They
Exactly. It's kind of like the people who don't like Dylan.
or Springsteen. It's
Yeah,
like
you
it's
don't
kind
get
of
it,
like
man.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Mr.
they
Jones.
check it out, But
Well, a lot of those people want us to just do like the Wikipedia style pod.
yeah.
where
I
you're just
think
like-
though
you just
they did
read
still
Wikipedia.
enjoy it. They
Yeah.
did still enjoy it. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's funny to say stuff like that. I never know how to respond when people send me stuff like that. I'm supposed to apologize.
It's like
or
if you went into someone's like coffee shop and you text
Yeah.
them afterwards and you're like, yeah, it was nice being in there, kind of not that good.
Yeah. I checked out your coffee shop you opened today. Coffee just didn't really have much flavor.
Yeah.
But it was cool to be there.
Maybe you're doing something that I don't understand.
Yeah, cool. I enjoyed going though.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Won't go again. Is I've just seen a face good?
Yeah, I was, because I hadn't listened to it in like a year, but except just talking about it with you, I thought maybe it was like too
Not good.
skiffily.
Yeah.
But no,
yeah.
listening to it now, I thought it was a lovely song.
Yeah.
Really lovely
He
song.
continued to play it, doesn't he? He likes it, Paul.
I think the Beatles got worse and worse. Is what my latest thing. Even though they're great
Yeah.
on like Abbey Road.
Well, they're
I
really
think-
good, but they started at Everest and got
I think they're
down to
what-
K2,
Yeah, there's such a good band in this early stuff. They just sound great, and they sound happy, which I love.
Certainly
Yeah.
they sound happy. There's a happiness within the music.
John joking
Yeah.
around about Lonnie Donegan, like
Yeah,
they're
losing-
about to do Paul's song. Like they probably wrote it together a bit,
Yeah.
Like
Here's a thought for you.
yeah.
You considered maybe pulling it out tonight at the gig?
Why not?
It's
Could
kind
be
of
cool.
got you could embrace it. I bet
Yeah,
bluegrass
nice
guys
harmony.
have embraced it.
Nice harmony on the chorus.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of got a bluegrass energy. I mean, you could get a fiddle in there.
It's very bluegrassy.
Yeah. I think I want to see a video of you doing it tonight.
Okay.
I think that would go down.
We're gonna
really
go have
well.
a little rehearsal right now, so maybe I'll
I'm sure you know how to play it.
oh god,
You know them
for sure.
all.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll talk to Sarah about it, and I'll look forward. So Sunday we were going to talk about the Playboy interview.
Yes.
Let's do
we're
that.
going to talk about a Playboy interview. The other thing I wanted to talk about at some point, I've had it up here on my desktop, but there's no rush, is that I was reminded on this tour of, and I'm sure some people who are listening will know what I'm talking about, that there was a guy who was called Thor Harris, who was in like Swans or something, or like he's adjacent to that kind of world of like kind of dark indie, maybe Smog and things like that.
Okay. Yeah.
That he wrote the word, there wasn't viral, didn't exist yet, but it went viral if viral had existed. A rules of how to tour in a band.
Okay.
And it's like a 21 sentence like rule book, and Jeff from my band really likes it, so I thought we could go through the rules, perhaps with a guest at some point. And
maybe
see
someone who's just been on a big tour, or
some
something.
road dog.
Yeah, well, let's do that next time too. And also shout out, speaking of road dogs,
100%.
to our friends in the band Destroyer,
Yes.
because I've just been informed that they've been listening to the show.
Oh, that's nice.
Nick Bragg texted me. It was nice. He said, he was quoting some eyewall stuff, and I was like, you listening out there? And he's like, yep, like just driving around the States, like they're into it apparently. So that's
I was
nice.
busy on Sunday night in Vancouver, but Jeff from my band went to the show and was mesmerized by the show.
Yeah, well,
Which isn't surprising.
they bands like that, I have a lot of respect. Dan's such a loyal guy. His band's been pretty much the same for, well, I mean, aside from the fact that he hasn't come on our show.
Well, I mean, that's not the issue.
Yeah.
That's all. It's the fact he went on a different show.
But he doesn't, I don't think he really knows the ins and outs. There's still time. I still have hope he'll come on,
Yeah.
But I love those guys, and I love that they're just the same old cronies going for it up there.
And they even managed to make the Vogue sound good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think he's played there quite a few times. So
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, man.
Love you.
We'll
Have a
talk to you
good night.
Sunday.
Also, anyone in Vancouver, Sarah is playing. If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, this is Wednesday, October the 29th. Sarah Jane Scouten is playing at the Painted Ship tonight, and I will be there.
Nice. Right on.
Peace.
Okay. Bye.